Hello, everybody. Hope you're all doing fantastically well. It's your second installment of the day, and it's the transfer beat. It's the rumour mill. It's daily transfer news. How exciting, everybody. Before we start, make sure you're slapping a like on the video. Make sure you're commenting and subscribing. You all know the spiel. Make sure you check out the video from earlier on. I watched the Daniel Farke press conference, so you lucky sods didn't have to. The Schwarzer, the talker, was really talking today. So I summarised that into a nice little 8-minute package for you guys. Make sure you check that out after this video. And today we're speaking about Johnny Rowe. What I know, the Hugo Bueno situation, of course, a little bit of an update on that as well. And we're going to be speaking about Dejan Ljubicic and the development there and exactly what the press conference meant when it came to these transfers. So the knock-on effect, let's start off, everybody. So the knock-on effect of what he was saying today, he was speaking about pieces. He was speaking about bits that needed to be added to this side. So there's not almost a youthful exuberance there, which we're all, absolutely peddling when it comes to Harry Gray, when it comes to James Adebayo, when it comes to Charlie Crew. But there needs to be a blend. We all know that when we saw that Norwich side from yesteryear, Jamal Lewis, Max Aarons were the youth, but there was also players in there like Vrancic. There was players in there like McLean, who was sort of like mid-20s at that point. There was Timu Pukki. There was players in there where there was a blend. Farke, all last season, was going on about Sam Morsey at points and Luongo. It felt like every time he was in a press conference, he was talking about the midfield, the experience they had in there. If you look at Leeds right now, you've got Gruev, 23 years old, Crew, 17? Then you've got Ampadu, 22. All right, so you've got Rothwell in there at 29 years of age, but is there a blend of experience there? He was speaking as well about the captains and the vice-captains. Strauch there at 25, 26, Melier at 21, 22. And obviously, Ampadu at 22 as well. Now, he could always make sort of Joe Rodon that player at 26, and if he wanted to go completely out there, he could make Pat Bamford that at 28, but he's elected to go a little bit younger when it's come to those vice captains, so that's obviously Daniel Farke's choice. However, what we do need to take into consideration here is the fact that when he's talking about that, he knows there are holes. There is a budget there for Leeds United, not a massive budget, of which we can talk about some of the clubs that have come down, and you've seen, mass money spent in the Championship. We can't afford to do that now because we are paying for our sins of last year and the year before that. So we have to compartmentalise this. We have to be logistical, and we have to be calm when it comes to what Leeds can spend and what Leeds can and can't spend, essentially. So when it comes to Johnny Rowe, the facts are, guys, I can tell you that Norwich want 15 million. Okay, Norwich want 15 million quid, and Leeds have to make that up. He kept speaking about them being locked in as a Americanized sort of journalism branch expands in this country. The success branch, which is American, which we always seem to look at and think we should do that. So even when it comes to terminology, it feels. But locked in. Leeds are locked in with talks with Norwich right now, which makes it all sound very official, doesn't it? And it is, but what we do know from the Norwich side today is that Johnny Rowe and Josh Sargent are available. They are available to play at the weekend. Their head is 100% Norwich, and there might be noise, but as of right now, they are Norwich City players. Now, when you hear that sort of stuff, you think to yourself, it'd be nice if they'd have missed training or something like that. But it feels like Leeds are very much at the initial stages here. John Percy reported that there was going to be a 7 million quid bid from Leeds, and that was going to be the first part of the conversation. But it feels like immediately Norwich have doubled that and said, look, it's 15 or nothing. 15 or nothing. Now, when I say that, you guys don't have to believe that. But what I would say is I've sort of got everything right when it comes to the Norwich standpoint ever. And, we're lucky to have good links here, there and everywhere. And from the national side of it as well, you get good links with, with the plethora that you've built up in the journalism world over the years. But as I say, you guys don't have to believe that. You can believe that. But it's 15 million what they want. Now, how Leeds can make that up? 10 million add-ons, 8 million add-ons. Now, what we did learn is for Cree, for Archie, the opposite clubs weren't allowed to declare the fee. This was an agreement that Leeds had with those clubs. Okay, so you're not going to get anything, even when it comes to the fee, with Johnny Rowe. You'll get reporters speaking on it. You'll get et cetera, happening. When it comes to that, speculating, I would say. But, this is why you need to be sort of have a few bits in and around the clubs. And from what I know, just by my limited knowledge, not ITK at all, but from what I know, it's 15 and Norwich won't go lower. Now, this is why the locked in conversation. Daniel Farke also said that they won't overpay. Now, this is going to be Leeds' absolute staple signing of the summer, even though it's bits, it's pieces. We need other players in there as well, not just your Johnny Rowe, which is great to hear, really, from Daniel Farke. He didn't reference Johnny Rowe, but he also didn't bat away the fact that when Johnny Rowe and Hugo Bueno were mentioned 3 times in the press conference, didn't bat that away once. He also didn't bat away the profile of player that we still need when it comes to a left back, when it comes to a central space, and an attacker to replace Chris Somerville. Also very interesting. So Farke needs and wants more experience. That's evident. Now with Johnny Rowe comes another youthful body, another player who, what we probably haven't taken into context is the fact that he's younger. When it comes to Hugo Bueno as well, it looks like Leeds United, excitingly, I would say, it seems, from following up, are still, very, very interested in Bueno, and that is definitely something that can happen. Again, Daniel Farke didn't bat that away in his press conference, which I personally think speaks volumes. Leeds have definitely initiated that, but he wouldn't comment on any of it, which was, it's completely understandable to see. We completely get the rhetoric there and how it could scupper negotiations, even though Daniel Farke is a talker. The 49ers probably just want him out of that environment as quickly as possible. So I can see Johnny Rowe being a bit of a marquee signing, but I do feel if Leeds try to bring them down and down and down and down, it's going to get, we're going to get closer and closer and closer to that deadline. You want Rowe integrated immediately, really, after such an exquisite preseason, a sharp preseason that he's had. It'd be great to get this done a lot quicker. And it felt like, reading between the lines with Farke, he wants it done quickly as well. He wants deals done quickly. So what do we know? We know the fee is what it is, and we know that sort of develops, and Norwich won't come down from it. So you have to meet that fee, and it is double, and it's double what we initially were priced at. So there's no 10 and below. The upfront fee might be 10 and then add-ons, but what we do know is from sort of the national side of it, they're saying that it's 15 and Norwich want 15. So yeah, guys, a lot to consider there, a lot to brace yourselves for. It feels like it's going to be a mass end to the window. It feels like, if this Johnny Rowe one gets done, Leeds are going to try to do a couple more other bits, which is great to see as well. What we know with Ljubicic as well is, as I've mentioned in previous streams as well, Cologne want to keep hold of him. Leeds have been quoted a much bigger price, but Ljubicic is open for the move, so keep an eye on that one. Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. You want some bonus bits? Patreon, link in the description below. You want some bonus bits? Merchandise, link in the description below as well. As I say, guys, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe as always, and I'll see you for Nancy's discussion tomorrow at midday, where we might be able to find out a bit more. Guys, see you in a bit.